Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is what is their type and what are their intentions towards you. Basically, it was just a question that somebody asked for yesterday in the comment section. You have got three choices. You have got the little boy with the black hat, you have got the red horse, or you've got the little girl with the very strange stained hat that's been in the sun. So if you want to take a choice, don't let that put you off though. If you want to take a choice, then we'll get started.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Hi, pile number one. I'm back. I did a false start, so I've just started again. I put your little boy over there because he was over here and will help me to edit it. So with regards to what is their type, you've got Neptune, you've got the kindergarten teacher. This is somebody who likes men or women who are emotional, considerate, soft-hearted, a drive to possibly help others and to nurture others here. It's very much, I know this is Neptune, but there's a Cancerian feeling with the kindergarten teacher and the Neptune card here. You often find people who work in primary schools in the lower part of the school have a lot of water in them, a lot of Cancer and Neptune, less Scorpio from what I've found here. In the next setup, when you get to under the age of from like 5 or 6 to 11, there's lots of Virgo and Gemini. When you get to secondary school, when the kids are like 10, 13 plus, Sagittarius seems to be prominent. So these two cards together, what your person is possibly looking for is somebody who's sweet-natured and kind and considerate, somebody who has time to listen to others, and somebody who connects emotionally. The Sun of Fire here is not the total picture though. Although this is the only Sun of Fire, it gives an Aries Pisces feeling here because the two tend to follow each other around the chart with regards to some planets. So there could be some Aries in here. So this could be somebody who organises. And a little bit of zest. It's not all sort of crying at things that are beautiful, which I do often find that people with strong Neptune tend to do. More likely to cry at something that is beautiful than something that is horrid or scary. It's those sort of, it's the high octave of Venus, so it's the beauty, the spiritual beauty that brings this person to tears, the person they're attracted to probably. You've got the 10 of Cups here. And there's a strong feeling, well, from the card that there's a need for somebody to, especially with these two cards here, to want to set up a family with. Somebody that they can connect with and spend a long time with, and somebody that's interested in either setting up a family home or having children. Children is a big thing in here because you've got this lady here sat at the window watching the kids playing, who's the teacher, and you've also got this woman holding this other lady's belly who's pregnant. So somebody who's stable, somebody who connects with kids, who wants children is probably very important to them. Somebody who's quite creative possibly, but to me the general feeling here is soft-hearted. Physically, Neptune and Cancer tend to give softness to bodies. They tend to give a, I'm going to say this because I've got one, a pudgy face. They tend to put extra fat onto the face, and the nose, they're not so, is it aquiline? Just softens everything, and it depends on your view. I used to know a Scorpio man, a very watery man, who was watching an aerobics video with me years ago, and the women were quite lean, and it's like, oh, I don't like that. And at that age, you know, and teaching sport at that time, I was like, well, that's what, you know, but I thought everybody aimed for, but it's like, oh no, they like softer bodies. They're like, I've got a girlfriend who likes men that she can basically hold on to, if you know what I mean. She likes bigger men, not lean. And the men tend to be, well, it depends what sex, it doesn't really matter, does it? Well, it doesn't matter, but it's softer. it's softer. Women with hips and breasts, that type of feeling. Softer face, flowing hair, not, you know, Aquarius tend to be like tattoos and shorter hair, and Sagittarius tends to be as well. It's sort of like here and very up to date and more ready and raw. This has got a totally different feeling to it. It's a feeling of, even with the Sun of Fire there, it's like there's a bit of fire in the eyes, but the rest of this with these cards here is very watery. And is it Marilyn Monroe? She had Neptune either on her ascendant or her MC. I always forget. It's probably Venus on the ascendant with her looks. But she came across as very feminine, didn't she? It's that type of image. And that's what I mean about the dress and the softness. Yeah, okay. So that's what I've got so far. I'm just thinking of other people here. So let's have a look at their thoughts towards you compared to their type, and see if it feels right to you. Okay, with regards to their thoughts towards you, this feels like somebody who's trying to figure you out. They've got the Sun of Fire at the side, which is a slight inkling, and that, as I said earlier, with, I think I said it with that Aries Pisces feeling, this person is generally drawn towards soft people and gentle people, kind of considerate and watery emotional people, but there's still that edge here of, if it gets too soft, then they need to somehow rev it up with an Aries feel here. And you're coming across as the Queen of Wands, so I don't know whether you are, you know, even if you are in this sort of occupation which is emotionally driven or is very sort of what's the word, caring profession probably, but with the Queen of Wands, if you are in this sort of profession, you could be a leader in some way. You could be more of a boss type energy in this type of field. You've got these cards here of what feel like retraction and trying to understand and watching and waiting. So your person hasn't quite sussed you out, I guess. Their thoughts haven't sussed you out so far. They haven't come to a rational decision of who you are. So let's have a look at their feelings. Oh, okay. Okay, I've got a feeling here. Their feelings are the Judgment. So the Judgment card is almost like a new beginning. It's almost like you flip them onto their back and they're sort of trying to understand. They're trying to understand who you are, but it's almost like it's too much to swallow at the moment. There's a feeling here that there's something in your character that's strong. You know, somebody who gets up and works, and you may work together. They may admire for your dedication to what you, or how you put effort into situations or work circumstances. And there's a feeling here, a strange feeling of it almost. Now, this being their type is very watery, but the fact that you've got Judgment with two work cards here, and there's no indication of them being interested in practicalities or men or women who are practical, but you've got two practical cards over a shake and wake up call here. It feels like there may be something in you, the way that you organize yourself, the way that you impress your personality on the earth I said earth, I didn't mean to, may have, like I say world actually, may have them changing their minds on what they find attractive, which does happen in life. You often find that when you have a partner for a long time, and you know, say you like black hair or blonde hair, and you go out with a blonde person, your type can change, can't it? You just tend to look for the same thing again because you've been loved by that type, that you know, the way that person I can't say it. You've been loved by a certain appearance and then you look for that again. That's not very clear, but that's what I'm thinking. Unclear. This pile is unclear. They're unclear. They're not sure. You've got the Queen of Cups here. It's like they're looking for more emotion from you. They're trying to find out how you react emotionally and they don't really understand yet. At the moment, I think the impression that you've given them so far has got a feeling of being quite feisty and quite confident, and you know, somebody who organizes things. They're looking at you, trying to understand, to see if you've got a softer side to you that they can connect with, and they don't know whether you have or not, because there's that confusion and trying to muddle through situations. There's a respect, I think, for the way that you come across as being able to there's a toughness about you I get with these cards, with these work cards here and the Queen of Wands. It feels like Virgo Aries or Virgo Leo feeling. And what they want to know about you, I guess, from these cards is to know whether you are looking for, it feels like somebody's got a Cancer moon here. And if you talk about kids with somebody with a Cancer moon or stability, you can see them melt. And this has got this feeling, and what they're looking down here with regards to their intentions, they're looking for that connection in you and they're not sure yet. I wonder whether you don't know this person that well, or they don't know you more so that well, because this Hangman card here is them trying to understand. And they're, you know, it's like being watching and waiting, and you're popping out your little head at the top here as the Queen of Wands. So if you know this person through work, there's a respect for the way that you do things, or the respect for the way that you show up in life, and that you're confident and that you're there, and they're softer, but they're wondering whether you share that side with them as well. A lot of the time you find if this is part of their personality, which oftentimes it is, and we project it outwards, possibly to, it doesn't have to be opposite sex, we project. I'm not sure how that works yet. I haven't really worked it out, you know, because your moon and the man's moon and Venus is projected outwards. A lot of the time they pull women towards them that basically make them feel whole, and it's the Mars and Venus, the Sun and Mars with men. So I don't really know how that relationship goes, if it's same sex or... But to me, this person is wanting to know whether you are their softer side too, and then you're not, they haven't actually picked out that yet. This feels like somebody, you probably walk past them and you're dressed and you're smart and you're on your way to work, or you're doing something with these work situations, and they're attracted to you with a Judgment card here. It's almost like, oh my gosh, she's caught my eye, she or he's caught my eye. That's not my usual type, but there's something intriguing about them because you're tapping into this little Son of Fire here. And they're always like watching, and this type of person is the type of person who thinks a lot afterwards about sightings and connections and conversations, but also as well doesn't like to get themselves into situations where they feel vulnerable too often. So they may actually, you may actually pick up that they feel like they're hiding from you, or they're not as upfront as you are with this energy here. But what they're trying to do is they're watching your every move very, very carefully, very, very carefully. They're watching where your eyes are moving. You know, this is the type of person who watches whether your eyes dilate when you look at them, or watches where your feet are facing, and in your automatic reaction, do you smile, do you look, do you double take? This person's very astute and very sensitive with these cards up here, and they're looking to see whether you are the same. I get a feeling here with this pile here that they don't know you quite as well as they'd like to be honest, and they're biding their time. Your person's not, even with this card here, your person's not going to rush into this because they're probably too tentative in life in general. This has a feeling, I'm not going to put you, I don't want to put you off now, of somebody who likes stability. And not that should put you off, but what I was going to say is, you know, like saving. I'm only saying that because my brother is Cancer, and it's really important. Out of everybody else in the family, we have absolutely no savings. It's really important for him to have that pot because he just wants things to be safe. There's a feeling of safety in this, and that's what this person is looking for. I wish I had some savings, I really do. Right, so to sum this up, with regards to what is their type, their type is sweet and soft and gentle and considerate and family orientated. There's a little punch of fire here in this, where they don't want it to be too settled, and I think they've spotted that with the Queen of Wands here in you. This is a feeling of somebody who watches you when they think that you're not looking, who thinks a lot about you when you're not together, who tries to work out exactly who you are, probably more so than you do. There's a feeling here that if you work together, that they admire the way that you look very proficient, which I know sounds ridiculous, but oftentimes you find yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm really scared of tripping up with sexes, but with regards to people I know, I find men with this outlook can often look for women who are quite proficient in the outside world in earning money, because they're not adverse to staying at home and looking after the kids. It can shift both ways, and that could be male or female, I don't really know, but that could be part of it here, because you've got two work cards here near the judgment card, so that could be flipping the way that they see the world in general, and oh yeah, I could stay at home, look after the kids. And I find that oftentimes with strong women. I've got a lot of very strong female friends whose husbands look after the kids at home, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'd rather stay at home, to be honest, than go to work most of the time. But we do, don't we? So down here, it's just trying to work you out. It's trying to work out whether you have these softer qualities the same as they do, because they've not picked it up yet, or they're wondering why they're attracted to you because you shake them up in some way. Right, okay, that might have been a little bit mumbling through that one. And I think it's because I've got the heater on, to be honest. I'm going to switch it off because it's very warm in here. I hope that feels right in some way. Very, very watery feel about your person with regards to their taste. They see you, there's admiration here, there's respect here, and there's a change of what they find attractive. Lots of trying to understand, not only to see where you could fit into their life, but whether you can connect with them emotionally too. And they don't know. They're not sure. They're not sure as yet. Right, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to switch my heater down, and I'm going to see you again, hopefully. Bye. Okay, this feels like your person is looking for somebody with an intense artistic temperament, which you've got the 5 of air here in Pluto. So to me, it feels like somebody who's not afraid to be different and to be able to debate. It's somebody who's got strong passions and can speak up for themselves, is what I'm feeling here. You've got the Fool card here and the Art card here, which is they're both quite intense cards, both major arcana. So to me, it feels like intensity. It does feel like intensity. It feels feisty. It feels fiery. It's like this. They'd rather have drama. They'd rather have passion than slithering through life and not getting much out of it. I'm thinking of somebody in particular. I probably won't mention who it is because she's a family member, but who has a slight obsession. She's probably watching this with what I would say is like foreign, because a lot of these people seem to be I think one of this guy I'm thinking of is Russian, ballet, dark, and almost it's very arty. I don't really know whether it is the guy I'm thinking of, and this is what this whole pie feels like. From what she sent to me to make me watch, was a guy walking across the beach. He comes to a platform and he's very sort of intense and dark and dramatic dancing. So this to me feels like passionate, intense, individualistic, and brave. That's their type. It's like an artist temperament who's raw and slightly, well, I was going to say slightly aggressive. This isn't a feeling of somebody who's artistic as in doing watercolours or flowers at all. This is somebody who's passionate and raw and open and would rather have drama in their life than quiet. That's their type. And the Five of Air here is, and I've said this in other readings here, with the Five of Air next to Pluto, you've got to have your own opinion or your own views. And I never know what I think about that type of feeling here. That's not that's important what I think anyway, but whether is it important to have opinions and views? Because I can remember being told off for it when I was in my 20s. This lady came in I was working with, and she said, you've got to have, she wasn't talking to me actually, but I kind of thinking it was like a telling off. She was talking to somebody else, but you've got to have your own opinion and your views. And I was thinking, do you really? Would it be best not to have so many? This person likes them. Likes people with strong views, strong opinions, passion, wild. It feels to me like somebody where sex is very important. This isn't somebody who could have a relationship where the sex wasn't passionate. And this makes me think of two people that I knew in my 20s who, one was Aries and one was Leo lady. And she said, I mean, he was obviously very up for this, that she made, this is very, I'm sure this is sensitive information to them, that when they got together that she was going to make sure that was the most important part of their relationship, and that she was really going to put on a performance, to be honest. And this has got this feeling about it, that intensity and passionate. I'm going to say that again. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to move on. Let's go see how you come across to them. Their thoughts here with regards to you, have got a feeling like they've put the effort in, and it's almost like knocking at the door and you can't get in and you've turned your back to them. So their thoughts are to me that they I guess they're picking out that you've got boundaries, and this could go in two ways with this type of feeling here. Either they want to push them, or they feel that inside your boundary you may not be the same as them. I don't know as yet, to be honest here, but it feels like they've tried with you. It feels like they've given you all the lead-ons, and they've given you they've opened the doors for you, and you possibly haven't come towards them, and they're waiting for something. Have you got the guts? To me, this feels like here with regards to what they're attracted to here. Because you're coming across as the Hierophant, and this is coming across as pushing boundaries, and the Hierophant likes to maintain them. And you've got here situations of work and walking away. And this person looking out for this energy might have come up to you and think, can I get through those boundaries? He or she's not interested, so I don't know whether we're the same energy or whether I need to knock those boundaries down. Let's have a look. Oh wow, this is where your person is good. And this is their feelings towards you, and this is where their emotions come out. And as I said at the beginning here, that your person, this is lovely, your person expects intensity from you that they are prepared to give to you, if that makes sense. They don't want to be, don't take this in a wrong way because it will sound a bit strange, but they don't want to be filling an empty hole. Yeah, don't take that wrong. It's like there's only so much shoving they can give out of their own emotions, their own feelings and their own intentions towards you, but they will need some back. And that's why they're pushing this boundary, I think, here, because their feelings towards you are extremely emotional and they're sweet. This is like somebody who likes to have and to hold, to love, and in a big way. and expects that back. And at the moment they're in what I guess is leading up to that with regards to, it's like romance. This person's got quite a romantic nature, and somebody who feels that you're fun and they want to connect with you, and they feel that there's a really strong connection between the pair of you that I guess is very intuitive, very compassionate and very loving. And this is like two people that look at each other and they know there's a connection there. And this has got your person going because that's the type of thing that they look for. They're not sure what's going on beyond that. It feels like somebody that's seen you, drawn towards you, feels that you're very similar, but doesn't know you well enough, and possibly the Hierophant there is wondering what's behind your boundaries, whether you're going to connect, or whether, you know, how far will you flow, how far will you go if they push you, or will you push back and they won't actually get your... It feels scorpionic. They want your raw, open self, is what I'm trying to say. Not hiding behind convention or doing what life tells you to do or the society tells you to do. They want you as you are, the moment that you were, you know, the moment that you were born, that energy that is innate in you, and they want to see it bare, I guess. Because there's too much fighting for truth in here. It feels like, you know, like a freedom fighter, but it feels like somebody who in a conference could stand up without thinking twice. Your person feels like this, and would passionately air their thoughts and their feelings, and that's the way they would act with you. But they're at the moment it's very romantic, their thoughts towards you, and they're just trying to work out whether you're going to meet them with the same passion. Okay, I think that your person's got a strong enough personality and their intentions towards you to do something with you, to make a move towards you. This isn't somebody who lives in fear, and that's what they're looking for in somebody else. To me, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot card with regards to their actions, it feels like somebody's going to do something. This is strong will, and this is actually forming it in the real world. So they're actually going to do something rather than just thinking or talking about it. I don't think your person does a lot of that. Your person could be quite quiet, but strong. And that's what they're looking for in you. Not to be quiet, but to be emotionally strong. This is somebody who's, if they were like a tsunami and they were met with by a, you know, a trickly wave that you get in the seaside in the summer when the kids are playing with their buckets and spades, would be disappointed. They're expecting a tsunami back here. And they're going to come towards you, which with what I guess is like, you know, full on, and could be quite scary for people who don't have this nature. And that's what they're testing. They're going to test whether you can take it, whether you can, you know, whether you're confident in yourself, whether you're at ease with yourself and who you are, whether you can stand up straight and say, well, this is me. You know, even if there's differences, they'd still rather you have your strength. This is like a fiery boss, you know, those like bosses that you get who are Aries and Sagittarius, and they give you some crap and they respect you more for standing up. Most people with fire signs respect people. I'm not saying this person's fiery, but it's the same sort of energy. They respect people with confidence who can stand up for themselves, even if it's against them. They lose total respect for people who just sort of like start crying and run away. It's a good hint there if you've got an Aries or Sagittarius boss. There is a fear here with them of not getting any further with you, I think, because this is like these two cards here are really strong and forceful, and then you've got this card here that's left out, and this must have something to do, you know, this is the Church and this is being left out of it. I think your person's brave. I think that they haven't fit into situations in life, and they're wondering whether, and I gotta say this, whether you may be quite conventional more so than them, only because of this, like the way that these cards have fallen with regards to concrete societal boundaries and feeling like it's left out, whether you're going to fit together in that sense. So with regards to their type is strong, adventurous, wild, artistic temperament, not afraid to speak up. Their feelings towards you are incredibly romantic, incredibly sweet, but testing. This person wants to test your mettle to see whether you can stand up and be as strong as them, because that's what they're interested in. And there's a fear here that you may be different with regards to how you fit into society, I guess, in some way, and whether you're going to accept them. Your person doesn't come across as fearful, but there may be that slight sort of, to me, I think these two cards feel like, with regards to this raw feeling here, that you may be different in that way. You know, this person's childhood could very possibly have been quite volatile, or quite open and direct, or if not, it doesn't have to be negative. They could have just been able, they would have had parents with strong opinions who allowed the children to express them, and that's what they're looking for, because that's what gives them comfort. But they're looking for somebody who's not restricted with boundaries here, because you've got the Art card here, and you've got here this sort of what boundaries will you accept when I have these strong feelings towards you? Would you accept mine, which are a little bit, I don't know, looser, but still strong? And that's what I've got. That's what I feel from those cards there. A passionate person. Your person's passionate. They're looking for passion from you. At the moment, they feel very romantic towards you. It feels like a want to protect feeling at the moment, a romantic need to protect you. But I think as the relationship moves on, they're going to be looking for reciprocated intensity, to be honest. So if you're Scorpio, that one must suit you. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much. I'm going to carry on straight to the next pile. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. What is their type? You've got a combination. The other two piles had, you know, almost like a theme that ran through the whole sort of what is their type. This is a feeling of somebody who likes somebody that's dedicated, somebody that likes somebody they can sit and talk to, somebody who needs to connect on very much a friendship level. With the Mother of Air and the Vesta card here, there's a need to have each other's backs. There's a need to be an honesty, and partnership does feel very airy to me. It feels like Aquarius, sort of Libra mix of somebody who, when they connect, they expect honesty and they expect it. It's like, no, sorry, it's more Aquarius, it's more fixed with the Vesta card here, because Vesta is like dedication, isn't it? So it's like an Aquarius relationship would be open, fixed, honest, cool, directed, and friendship based. You have to be friends. This isn't somebody where passion would be enough. I'm not saying they don't want passion. I haven't seen that yet though, but it's a feeling that if there's no mental connection there, then there's no way forward with this person with a Vesta card here, because this person dedicates to somebody who they feel a mental connection with. You've got here the Ten of Cups, and you've got here, I'll leave that for the moment, the Ten of Cups, which once again has to that fixed feelings. This is somebody who is looking for a partner who is going to be a friendship and going to be a long-term relationship. This isn't somebody, there's two different types in this one. This here, the Ace of Wands. This feels, I'm going to say the Whore and Madonna over here, but that's so strong, I don't actually mean it, but I very much always seem to say what's in my mind, unfortunately. It feels like they have two types. It feels like this person could have one night stands quite easily with this Ace of Wands here, but what they actually find attractive is somebody that they can connect with. So if they had a one night stand, which I think they could do, you know, quite easily, be out at night and just take somebody home and whatever. But if they didn't connect with them mentally, then it would be disappointing to them. but not enough to not do that, if you know what I mean. It feels like there's a strong sex drive, which doesn't really connect with this. But once they get somebody that they feel that they really connect with, then they really connect and they will hang on. Somebody who has probably the same life goals. You know, and that's not the case for everybody, you know, but if it was this way around, it would be the sex would be more important, and this way around, the sex would be more important. This is somebody who has the same intentions, same life goals. So it feels like your person may be somebody who reads a lot, or somebody who's quite into education, who's stimulated by ideas and where society's going, and has like a huge library of books that, you know, those like 100 books you should tick off before you die type of thing, and they've read them all. Somebody who likes to talk, but somebody who's quite stubborn probably as well. Let's keep going to see how they see you. Oh, there's like you're coming from this, their thoughts about you are, if you could voice them, would be, they are like me. They think that you are like them. They think there's a connection there that's very sort of sweet. You're easy to talk to, you're easy to socialise. There's something very airy, something very breezy about you where you don't hang on too much. And the Page of Wands, there's something quite childlike about you, something quite inquisitive and curious. Oh, I was reading a book the other day. It was a book about a lady who I think was in a harem or something like that. It was only the back of the book and a few little bits I flicked into, where this guy who was in Istanbul and could just see her eyes. I think it's called Azayat or something like that. And you could, there was something they said about her eyes being very sort of forthright and curious. That's how they would describe you. And their thoughts towards you are probably open and honest, and a really easy connection that feels like you won't hold on too tight, and that you will stimulate them, but sweet and open and innocent. So that's quite, you know, that's a really nice start. Their feelings towards you, I guess their feelings are that you've, if I could say this in a really raw way, which will probably upset people, it almost feels like you've led them on and then it's gone no further. The Ace of Wands to me is a sexual, and that's a card that's in the centre. I don't mean that you have actually led them on, but it's almost like you've enticed them sexually, or you've come across as being, you know, physically extremely attractive, and it's got them, I'm going to say, aroused here in some way. But it's not worked out, because this is flanked by cards. They're like, oh no, that's not worked out, heartache, or they're not taking up what I've offered, or that's how they perceive the situation. And this person to me feels quite dignified. It doesn't feel like somebody that's going to keep pushing if they don't feel they're going to get in. It feels quite proud cards here. And yeah, okay. And to me, you both feel as if you're more turned on by the things that are left unsaid in this pile here. Even though you've got like a fiery card in the centre that likes things shouted out, there's a feeling here of what I would say a connection where you both got a smile on your face when you leave each other, and you both feel good, but you're not ready, either of you ready to declare your undying love. And they're looking for somebody very similar to themselves who possibly can even string out the foreplay in some way. But there's a feeling here that there's a lot of physical attraction. Their feelings towards you are physical, from somebody who I guess themselves, this is part of them as well as what they're projecting outwards, is not particularly, oh my God, they are. Oh my gosh, okay. Bad reading cards, Lindsay. What makes them feel emotionally secure is physicality, but they aren't that totally in themselves. What they've picked up from you is physicality, but also that ability to connect in an almost childlike and sweet way. So this is, you're the whole package, to be honest, in this spread with regards to what they're looking for and their feelings towards you. Let me keep going. Your person, as I said earlier, with being quite dignified here, feels like you're not interested. What they're going to do is they're going to still come towards you with, if you're fiery, if you are Aries or Sagittarius, you know, possibly Leo as well here, this may not be enough for you. They're going to come towards you in a very romantic way that you're going to think, well, hold on, that's not obvious enough, maybe with these cards here, and it's going to feel a bit like stalemate. And what they're waiting for is for you're both going to be waiting for it, because I think that you're both very similar here. The way these cards are developed, it feels like you're both a mixture of being very strong, dignified, gentlemen, gentlewomen, who have got the ability to pull the physicality card out of the bag at the last moment when it's most needed, if that makes sense. You don't lead with your genitals. It's the end, it's a full stop of the relationship, but still extremely important. And what they've picked up from you is a sexual attraction, but you're probably both reverting back to what I say is your more pulled back personalities, where you're watching and waiting and being very kind and polite and lovely, and they're wondering, they think, well, actually they don't feel the same, because they probably, I don't know why, I don't know. This is a very, rears up a question of your interactions up to now, because it feels like they've picked up that you are a physical person, that you enjoy your body, or you enjoy sex, or you enjoy life, but they need more than that, and they think that you are the whole package. But what you're going to get from them, I suppose, up until now is what you're going to get from them is romantic sort of gestures, very gentle. Difficult to say, not very well explained for me today, I'm sorry. I'm going to sum it up. If I speak fast, it tends to come out a little bit better. Okay, so we're looking at what is their type and what are their intentions towards you. Their type is a mixture. It's difficult to say because it is a mixture. Their type is mainly somebody dedicated, somebody independent, somebody who they can relate to on a friendship level, but they do need a strong sexual connection with somebody. They've picked out that what I would say your physicality, and that's what the initial pull has been, but behind that, because they're pulling it from only inside themselves, they see you as being very sweet and innocent, and they can feel that there could be possibly a long-term connection with you. They feel as if you're not giving the same amount that they're giving, or feeling the same amount that they're giving, and their intentions towards you are to keep pushing emotionally towards you in a very romantic way, to see whether this bit here, this sort of ability to connect mentally, is as strong as the physical pull from them to you. So that's what I've got there in the end. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I always forget to say this, but if you do fancy a private reading, they are on my website. I think I forgot to say the other two powers. It's huluppu.co.uk. Thank you very much. Bye.